guys, this is There's Always a Choice podcast with Alhtheah and Robert.
How you doing?
Oh, you're being normal. Okay. Alright, so what? I thought you was gonna come out with Rastaman.
What?
Things. Anyways.
Big man things. We're here to discuss
things.
life and other things. Levity.
Definitely. Alright, episode 1. So today, guys, we're gonna be discussing imposter syndrome. So by definition, imposter syndrome is the persistent inability to believe that one's success is deserved or has been legitimately achieved, and as a result of one's own efforts or skills, or well, at least that's Google's definition on imposter syndrome. So just basically, like, in layman's terms, I should probably put my phone on silent. In layman's terms, so basically, just kind of a person feeling like they don't deserve something that they've achieved or that they have in their life, so yeah, basically it doesn't go with anything. Go with relationships, and go with career success, and go with just about anything you feel like that you achieved or you've gained over some time, but you feel like it shouldn't be yours, which I also feel like this kind of coincides with having anxiety too, which is probably a lot of people who have imposter syndrome are also suffering from anxiety as well.
The anxiety probably increases based on fear of probably being found out or not being genuine, because we all have a lot of inner battles going on.
Yeah.
And it's also purpose and belonging, because we have a purpose in life.
Yeah.
But sometimes a lot of people want to belong somewhere. And it's been said that your purpose might be compromised because you'd rather fit in. You know how many times you pretended to be this version of yourself around a group of people because you want to belong to a certain class of friends, a certain cliques, etc. Yeah,
so that's another thing too. Imposter syndrome, maybe it also like kicks in when you're not being your authentic self and you're feeling like, okay, well maybe, I don't deserve this, and maybe you feel like you don't deserve it because it's not really you, you don't really feel like that's you. Yeah, maybe that could be it too. Also feelings of just like not having like, high self-esteem and things like that, because it could be you just, if you feel like a piece of crap and you're getting all these amazing things, you're just like, why am I getting this, like I suck. Like
finesse.
Nah, but for real, no, insecurity and stuff like that definitely could also play a role. And I feel like especially now with a lot of people, like since social media happened and stuff like that, a lot of people are becoming quote unquote celebrities, not really real celebrities, but like social media celebrities and stuff like that. So I feel like that's also could play a role in a lot of people now experiencing and dealing with imposter syndrome, because a lot of people, some people don't even expect to end up with a whole ton of followers or etc., like be celebrities and things like that, and then it happens and they're just like, wow, like, do I even deserve this? So I feel like now it's kind of on a wider scale too.
Possibly with the social media thing, it's like when you have a certain number of followers, that most of them come off as your friends, people that you might know. But then you reach a certain level of popularity or notoriety, like people know you for something, and then the followers go up. You might get lost into thinking like, hey, most of these people mess with me, but at the end of the day, we all know who we really are inside, and you might lose yourself into thinking that I have all these numbers of followers, but I don't have that many friends. You like get lost inside that idea, because even that imposter syndrome of I show people the best of what I might be doing. I sell this image, or
exactly.
I speak a certain way because maybe this is what my followers want, and you want to stay authentic because you want your followers to grow, or you want the people that's there to stay, so you might compromise.
Exactly. And then some people too, they'll get to a certain stage where they want to grow more, they feel like, and then now they're kind of putting on the front and they're being somebody that they're not, to attract more attention, because they see that other people that could possibly be more getting more popularity or things like that, they'll want to copy them and stuff like that. And another thing too, so originally when I heard about imposter syndrome, yes, I heard this definition as well, but I also heard another definition which was more so, which I feel like a lot, it's even more people could relate to it. It's just the fact that, you know, some people, they just want to be somebody else. You know, they feel like they're an imposter. They're like, they're not trying to, and I feel like that's so many people too. Like, they literally they don't even know who their authentic selves are. You get what I mean? Because it's like so much of it is just repeated action off of things that they saw. You know, like their whole personality is somebody else or pieces of other people, and it's not really them. You know, that's what I kind of felt like imposter syndrome was. I don't know if that's another definition or not, but I feel like that's definitely like kind of what first comes to mind when I think of imposter syndrome.
Yeah, and then, you know, go with your instinct, go with your intuition, because what you mentioned just now is about the confidence in being yourself. Because there's a point in time we have an idea of the journey we want to take, like the roads in front of you. You got to take a step to be brave, and if this is who I am, then the right people, your tribe, will gravitate towards you, and likewise you'll be able to gravitate towards your tribe if you're being who you really are. Then it also comes into the mask that we wear, because, you know, it's said that we have somebody your family sees, somebody your friends see. You might be a different person in the house and a different person on the streets, and then somebody your romantic partner sees, somebody your best friend sees, even a different person in the workplace, or how people of melanin complexion sometimes code switch when you're around
gotta know how to code switch.
The different culture.
Different aspects.
Or when you get pulled over by the law, you bad boys. Yeah, you kind of like.
You gotta have a different persona. You can't just be one person straight away all the time. Well, I guess occasionally, because some people are like that. You know, I feel like kind of like that too. Like you,
me.
Yeah, I feel like you're more than likely or most of the times at least. You know, you're one person at least.
Oh,
maybe it's because I only see the side. Well, but then again, I don't know.
For the most part,
like you feel like you're like the same person around everybody, or you feel like you kind of got to switch up a little bit.
The same person, but it depends on the level of depth that people know you.
That's true.
Because
that's
like,
not gonna show like, you know, crazy different parts about you. I don't know, like just everything about you, like, you know, an acquaintance. Like they don't give all of that.
That depending, because there's also like you ever bumped into somebody and it's a random encounter, and then this person's telling you so much about their life. I think sometimes it's more comfortable because it's no consequence of seeing that person again or being friends. So you could just verbal, just flush everything or whatever you're feeling at that moment.
I don't think I've ever been like that though. Like with people I don't really know like that. Like I feel like, I don't know, I'd rather just not tell you anything.
Yeah, I get
like,
that.
I feel like, I don't know, it takes me a while to like actually want to open up to people. But I don't know, I heard that before though, that sometimes it's easier to vent to people you don't really know, but I don't know. I mean, I could see it though. I could see like the positive in that, you know, you can get somebody's unbiased opinion that you don't really know. Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, but then again, I don't know. I just don't be one to share.
If I want an unbiased opinion, I call my grandmother.
All right. So another thing too, is this relating to imposter syndrome? Yeah, because I don't know about the definitions. I don't know if it's related to imposter syndrome, but still, just with people wanting to be like somebody else, etc. Another thing that I learned about maybe like a few months ago is like the embodiment of somebodyness. So it's basically, you know, all right, let me break it down.
All right,
let me break it down.
Take notes, class.
All right, so first things first is like the fact, okay, well, labels, you know, like everything's labeled. So like people would describe you as 1, a man, 2, a black man, 3, I don't know. I don't want to say weirdo.
What? Hey,
a funny guy.
Cut the video. Pause.
Somebody who is funny, you know, just like labels and stuff like that. Somebody who's caring. Ooh, another
caring.
Caring. You're not caring?
I mean, I am, but how would you continue?
I'm just saying, like, people that know you and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, qualities and traits that you have. So basically, with the embodiment of somebodyness is basically saying, like, another reason why people, they want to be, like, they want to emulate certain qualities of other people's because they want to feel like them, etc. They want to feel like a somebody. So let's say people that want to look like Beyonce or Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion, you know, just famous celebrities.
Rihanna, Nicki, people
also,
had their phases.
Men too, Polo G, whatever, freaking all y'all.
Future.
We
forget when y'all was rocking hats. And Lil Wayne,
Future,
when he was wearing them scarves.
Y'all was wearing skirts.
Niggas in Miami.
Young Thug.
Skirts.
Yeah.
When they was wearing scarves in Miami, it'd be 95 degrees.
My ex was wearing a skirt one time, but that was before I knew him. Either way, yeah, Young Thug type stuff. Anyways,
no, that's wild.
That's wild for real, right?
You should have reevaluated that one going in.
Anyway,
that's not here or there.
Yeah, neither here nor there. Either way, though, you know, we like to, or you know, people like to emulate. I don't even want to say just people, because myself included, like, I've copied like little things sometimes, occasionally.
Yeah, it's part of culture style.
Yeah, exactly.
Finding
it's
your
just,
own.
Bro, part of being human. But either way, though, so with the embodiment of somebodyness, you know, we'll take little pieces of other people because we want to feel more, you know, closer to them, etc., etc. But another aspect of the embodiment of somebodyness is basically like, okay, so we put rankings to people, so like celebrities and like higher ups, the white elite, etc. That's like the top, right? You know, that would be crazy. You know, millionaires, billionaires, things like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, all them people, right? We put them at the top of the food chain. We say that, you know, president, whatever. All you get what I mean. All of them are at the top, and then like people like we're like supposedly the middle, whatever, and then like homeless people, drug addicts, things like that. Damn. You know, they would even say sex workers, etc. That's supposed to be like the bottom of the thing. You know, people don't mind being disrespectful. But listen, that's the thing. So people don't mind being disrespectful to people like that, etc., etc., because of the titles that they hold. Yeah. So basically, you know, the character traits they have, the quote unquote character traits that they have, the titles that they hold, the person they are, the somebody that they are. Don't nobody want to be that somebody. Everybody else want to be this somebody. And it's like this fake food chain that doesn't exist, and it doesn't matter, and like we're all literally like this equal, and we think we're like this when it's like this. And it does not make any sense. But that's another thing where I feel like imposter syndrome really kind of coincides with that, because it's like, okay, you're putting, you know, yourself at a level, and that's why you feel like you don't deserve something, etc., etc., because you feel like, you know, somebody who is supposed to deserve that, you're not equal to them. But in all actuality, everybody, we're all the same, bro. Like, all the titles, money, etc., whatever you have, stuff like that, that doesn't, you know, coincide with your worth, your self-worth, you know. So basically, I also feel like that's kind of where imposter syndrome also coincides with the embodiment of somebodyness, because why else would you feel like, you know, you're not deserving of your success, or you know, just basically anything good that's coming to you? Why would you feel like you're not deserving unless you feel like, you know, it's kind of like a certain level you have to be on, you know? Yeah. And it doesn't exist. Literally, all of this is just, it's made up. It's in your head that you feel like you don't deserve something, because if you really didn't deserve something, why would you have it? You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah. That's kind of based on insecurities, I guess, or the thought that you didn't really work for it.
Yeah.
When more often than not, when you're in a good state, you can say, hey, I got the things I deserve. I was put in a position to be able to receive what I have at the moment.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might be like maybe the grass is greener type thing. So if you see somebody with more than what you have, you might say, like, you're emulating somebody, you're being an imposter. Yeah. You might say, hey, I want to get the house and the car and the life that they have. But if you and yourself, you have moments where you don't believe it, then you feel like the things that you have, if you don't deserve it, you might deserve less than what you have. You might not appreciate what you earned or what's given to you based on the person that you are. Because sometimes, let's say you work and you reach a certain level, so now people recognize how you come off. That's why, let's say, celebrities, they go to restaurants to eat free, because if they say, hey, this celebrity be at this restaurant, it's going to bring in more numbers, so they could comp that meal, they could give that meal free, and the celebrity could, enjoy a meal, and then a bunch of other people come in to try to be around their presence.
Yeah.
Whether it's a celebrity feeling like, hey, I probably shouldn't be eating here because, or let me pay for my meal or whatever. When you reach a certain status, you're like, I deserve all the free things. And it kind of, I don't know if it warps your personality or it shows who you really are, and saying like, you find out that the person that you wanted to emulate is not such a good person.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's in some cases, because I feel like some people, even if they get like to a certain status, they don't change as much as, others might. Like, yes, I understand human ego and stuff like that. That's always going to be like a factor. And then, you always might get a little bit snobby. But I feel like some people, even though they get to a certain point in life, they still are kind-hearted regardless. Like, it's just with everything, certain things you can't just let it like taint your personality, So I don't know. It's in some cases, not in all cases, but it is in some cases, and you can kind of tell with those people too, how they,
also
will
like
use their platform and their wealth to
redistribute to others,
exactly.
to give back
to others and things like that.
But also and
not the people who do it for show though. The ones who, like, they'll give out a little bit, or like, oh my gosh, I remember, I don't know if you've seen this. It was a couple of things. I think it was one instance with Kodak Black, and he had like $100,000, and then he was like pouring it in the water, something like that. It was something stupid. It was something real stupid. I was just like, sir, you pouring out $100,000? That could have went to charity.
It could have been Usher bucks. We don't know.
It could have been, yeah, exactly. That's another thing too. It could have been fake, but and then another thing too with the baby. And then these like two kids that were trying to like quote unquote finesse him.
Nah, they were.
Out of like, no, definitely they were. But at the same time, it's like, you have a lot of money. You could have just gave it to them. I mean, they kids, they hustling. Clearly, they selling candy. I understand they're trying to say, oh, don't try and like finesse people and stuff like that. But at the same time, you could make them the lesson, but like tell them you're not stupid and they shouldn't finesse you. But you could still like you could have still like bought their little candy for the price that it actually was, or something. Like, I don't know.
Some of it depends on our background and how we all came up, because he mentioned it. I'm sure the kids got social media and saw the videos. Man, y'all stunned it too hard. Yeah. But he was going to give them something.
No, I know. Exactly. He said, because he said, "Oh, I was gonna bless y'all, etc., etc." But it's like, you still gonna.
But he told us. But when it reaches a certain point, it's like, based on who you are, it probably doesn't matter who's doing the finesse. Yeah. It offends you to know that, this is how people trying to get at me. Because it bothers people a lot. Like, when you reach a certain point, you find out that some of your homies you came up with, are you saying people?
No, I was gonna say people try to like finesse you because they feel like you got it like that.
Like it is be to the point, like, if you have money, you probably have stacks of money laying down. You'd rather that person come and say, hey, let me get 10K for the day or for the week. And then if you laying down, you sleeping, or you're not in the room or whatever, they come and they just take a stack of money and like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, so he said himself, I sold candy, I know what it's like, and I got it different. But I'm asking you, and your numbers going up. It's kind of like, if I go to the flea market or the store or anywhere and I see the price, sometimes I still like, hey, what's the price? And they say another price. I'm like, yo, what's this right here?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm like, okay. So it's on me to take it or leave it. Sometimes I go because, this is that one transaction. They just don't know I'm not coming back. But that's all right. And it's the same thing with the store. Something on sale. They ring it at the register. Depending on how, I know it's not the cashier's fault. Maybe not even the manager. But depending on how it is, I'll say, hey, that's listed at a different price. And it's ringing up for this there. Now, if they give me an attitude for the store not, making an adjustment to what's going on, I'm kind of like, all right, now, I'm not going to stand 10 toes and be like, yo, it's listed at the thing. You have to give me that price, because we could barter and speak up about things that we're supposed to get. And how they say closed mouths don't get fed. That's another thing. But he came from that same place, and he didn't want them to be those kind of people, because sometimes you're a certain person, but the kids might see, hey, if this person comes, we could just raise the price to what we want.
Yeah.
It might change you. It might taint you.
Yeah. No, I feel.
And then when you get to a point of what we call it, the finesse and scamming people, sometimes you lose sight of, all right, the baby's rich. And you start doing it to your friends, your family. Like, it's not a part of your identity, but it becomes so easy for you to do it that you make an adjustment in a wrong direction.
Yeah.
And it's like, about our makeup and, like, disrespect on certain levels is different for people. It's like, a guy on a subway train. Some ladies was messing with him. The 8-ball guy. He was minding his business until I think she's spitting his face or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. She had it coming though.
Neither here nor there.
Some people say
you fall back.
But I don't know. Like,
it's
crazy.
Different. Yeah, some people.
You never know how people will react. That's why it's better to just be genuine and be kind to people. But,
or they could have left him alone. The man was minding his business. He spit in his face, and he brought hellfire. But yeah,
he's talking
because but different people have different reactions based on how they come up, the principles, certain things that they stand firm on or whatever. And not a lot of people are willing to acquiesce, step back and say, hey, I'm gonna let you have it. They're like, yo, I'm not gonna go for that. You could be, an elderly, an adult, a peer, a younger generation, a kid, teenager, however it is, and they're not gonna stand for none of that. They don't give a damn about none of that.
Some people, they just have their principles, whatever. They already know.
And it's
I'm not gonna go for that. It don't matter who is behind it. I'm not gonna go for that. And I can understand in that sense. It's
kind of upsetting too, because it's like, there's some kids and it's only so much you can do. You can talk to them whether they take knowledge or not, but it's like, if it was your accountant or somebody, he could, let them know what's what.
Yeah.
And if it's somebody else, you kind of want to put the pause on them, but it's like, it feels deeper than what it is sometimes when it's your own kind doing it to you.
Yeah, I feel you.
But it's also that we come from certain places, from humble beginnings. There's some of us who came up poor, got rich, and then people expect you to be certain things at certain times, like give back and all that stuff, whatever. But it's also a tricky thing, because Dolph was giving back, Nipsey was giving back. There are other people that give back, and you reach a certain point, but you still have those people who feel like, they have it, they owe us this,
right?
And we're going to come get it.
And ain't nobody hope you get there, but everybody expect a piece of the pie,
bruh. And that's crazy. They got Pop Smoke, for example, different people, and it's like.
But it's other than that, it's also jealousy too.
Envy.
Yeah, exactly.
A bunch of other things.
It's not even just also people feel like they deserve it. It's also people feel like, why do you have it and I don't?
Yeah. Meanwhile, instead of sitting down, thinking about what somebody else has, we could all choose our own path and step up into whatever it is, because it's also about comfort. Like when you talk about a status in life, a position you want to get to, most of it's like money, because you covered it earlier about us being the same people. They're oftentimes like, you know, even picking this platform, we had to say, hey, we're digital creators, or you know, bloggers, or however it is. The title that people give outside, the label, sometimes people try to find out, who are you, what have you done, what title do you have, and they give you respect based on that, when we should just be aware of we're all humans on a path, and a certain level of respect should
nobody got it all figured out.
Yeah,
that's another thing too. It don't matter where you at in life, don't nobody have it just everything figured out.
That's why, like, the internet is not a lot of people go live, and they probably go live and show you certain things because it's just like small clips, small sound bites of how people are living. You know, it's not all the vacation. Some people just show you the vacation, but they don't show you the job they got to work in to get the vacation.
Exactly. That's another thing I've seen too, where it's basically people say the social media version of you is what you want the world, you know, to perceive you as, basically. Facts.
No, my social media is just coconuts and pictures of the sky, yo. Ross living off the captured land.
You want people to know you love coconuts.
Nah, I don't want to know I love coconuts.
They want coconuts everywhere.
Because that's what I was eating when the picture was taken.
Coconut man. Anyways,
Brother Earth.
You want to wrap up, or you have something else?
We good. I thought that was the wrap up.
Oh, that was the wrap up. Oh, okay. Well, this has been episode 1 of There's Always a Choice podcast.
We appreciate your presence. If you have any input, we have email, all that stuff will go up. The Instagram
and socials,
the platforms. You can reach out to us. We'll get back to everybody else.
Oh yeah. Also, if you guys have ideas too, things that you might want us to talk about or mention, you can add that. My eye is itchy. Wow. All right.
Comment, subscribe, hit us up, man. They like us already.
All right.